Welcome, everybody. Happy 2021. This is the LNL podcast,
Yes,
and we are
New
back.
Year.
This is Lingo Popela, and this is my cousin, sister, Satan. Yeah, man, guys, it's the LNL podcast. Thank you for everybody showing us love last year. It's been amazing. The feedback, the learning, the healing, the just sparking conversations that took place last year on the other episodes have been amazing. And this one is also going to be exciting. And sad news though, it is the final episode of this relationship series. We'll tell you which one is coming at the end of the year, but I mean at the end of the episode. But yeah, man, welcome to another episode of the LNL podcast.
Yes, guys, welcome to the LNL podcast. I'm Lindy, of course, and we are so excited that we're excited and we're sad that this is the last episode of our relationship series. We've had a lot of fun. You guys have shown us love, and today's topic, I think, again, is very relevant to relationships. It's very important, and it plays a huge role in building a relationship and building a connection with your significant other. So, Lingo, darling, we will be discussing
Mm.
sex and starting afresh. So
Let's talk about sex,
basically, why we
baby.
chose sex, obviously, because sex plays a
Wait,
huge role.
before we start talking about it, mom,
Yes.
sisters, brothers, aunts, bosses, colleagues. Yeah, man. you know what happens here stays here. That's all.
Yeah. And obviously, whatever we say is not necessarily from our own personal experiences. It's just we just feel it's relevant. It's an important topic. It's something that every relationship has to go through. Every relationship usually has it, and I don't know. I feel like it builds a different kind of bond in a relationship. So it is relevant, and that's why we are discussing it in our relationship series. So starting afresh, on the other hand, will be because it's the beginning of a new year. Um, maybe you from a relationship, maybe you've ended one.
And also, we've been talking a lot of relationship advices and topics about healing, also about like finding yourself within the relationships, love languages, knowing if this guy or girl is into you, all of that. So it's also good to just end it off with starting afresh
Yeah.
and
How do
don't
you
be
get
not being too
back
hard on
into this? How do you get back into the swing of things?
yourself.
Whether it's being
Hmm.
single, whether it's in a new relationship, whether it's just being with yourself, basically. Okay,
Definitely.
so today we've got two guests, two males, since we are two females, fabulous females. So yeah, I don't know. Should we introduce our guests?
Yes, I think we can start with your guest, the guest that you're with, obviously, because and also guys, Lindy's back in SA, but we are shooting remotely also because
Yeah, because
virtually
of
rather
Corona.
the Rona. So yeah,
Okay,
you
so
can start.
on my side, I've got Angel. All right. So Angel, do
Hello,
Angel.
I'm Angel.
you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, darling?
What do you want to know?
How old you are?
Uh-huh.
Just anything you think would be relevant to the topic.
All right. I am 39 years old, turning 40 in March.
Woo!
I have been single for, I stopped counting at 11 years.
Are
I've
you sure you're the right one for this topic?
Pardon?
He is the right
Are you
one
sure
for
you're the right one? The joke.
Yes,
Are you
yes,
sure you're the right one for this topic?
I've had relationships mainly with myself, and mhm. And you know those one person, one night, 1 hour, one
Yeah, we
love
know those.
relationships. Yes, and yeah, I've only had 3 major relationships in my life, and yeah, basically that's where I am at the moment. And it's wonderful.
Welcome, Angel, and thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to unpacking and engaging with you.
Okay, so where is Mr. Sipo? Hi, Sipo, how you doing?
All good, all good, all good. What's going on? What's going on, fam?
Okay, so Sipo, you know what the topic is. So we're talking about sex, of course. and and starting afresh. So, okay. So first things first. Lingo, do you want to ask the
Yeah.
first question, or should I give it a go?
I think before we go on, Sipo, can you just tell us a bit more about yourself? And also, mind you guys, Sipo has been the guy editing our podcast from the first episode. So it's also good to have him in here, just to be part of us the conversation, because
Part of the
I mean he's
family.
heard all those conversations, those ones that didn't even make the cut. He heard it all. So can you tell us more about
Yes.
yourself, Sipo?
What's up, beautiful? My name is Sipo. Obviously, I'm a sound engineer by profession, and I think a genuine good guy. Based in Joburg, but originally from Cape Town. Some of you guys might know me as Tabloid, or maybe none of you guys know me as Tabloid. But yeah, I'm good to be here. I'm happy to be here and to learn from these experts in this relationship series. Apparently I'm the last guest, so they saved the best for last. I'm happy about that.
Welcome, Sipo. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to unpacking and learning with you. Lindy, can you please start? Sex sells, they say.
Got it light, Lindy. Come on, don't expose the brother.
No, man, come on. Obviously,
Some of us signed.
Don't make me seem like that guy. But anyway, okay. So from a guy's perspective, how important do you guys think sex is in a relationship? I don't know who wants to start. Sipo, do you want to start?
Yeah. Crazy enough, like that's not really something I thought about like consciously, like before I saw the brief of today's show. But I think it's important, if you're with someone, you guys want to, and you're really with this person and you really care for this person and you see them as your partner in life and whatever else, you guys want to connect on every level, you know what I mean? And what is the greatest level than that level of intimacy, you know what I mean? So I think it's very important in a relationship, yeah, I think it's very important in a relationship for you guys to be physically together. Practically.
Angel?
All right. In my perspective is that sex is quite important for a relationship, but it's not paramount because, as we know, relationships that have stood the test of time, and we see that amongst the elders in our community who have stayed with each other for a very long time. We know that most of them don't have sex eventually towards the later years of their relationship, but the relationship is much, much stronger without sex. So I think it's important in the beginning because definitely you first see the person that you think you might like by what they look like, all right? And that obviously looks leads to sex, which can be an emotional thing, but is mostly physical. And from a gay person's perspective, it is extremely important. Because generally, I'm speaking generally.
I love
not for all gay people, but those who didn't know and those who know that in gay relationships, sometimes even before we go on a date, the first thing we'll go and do is to have sex with each other. So it is the first step. Not all relationships start off like that, but mostly they do. We try sometimes to say, let's go for a date. Then that evening will probably end up in sex. So for us, it's very important to keep the relationship going, and being males, two males, and we know that males have got a very high sex drive in a relationship. So the sex is extremely important in the beginning and the middle. I don't know about the later years of the relationship because I don't know a lot of gay people who've had a relationship that long. So,
Lingo, what do you think? How important do you think sex is in a relationship?
It's very tricky, right? But also, I just want to touch on what Angel mentioned now, that, and if we look at our elderly, people, parents, aunts, uncles, etc., the intimacy it's the love is leading more than the intimacy in the relationship. But I also think it's a more of a generational thing more than anything. You know what I mean? From my side. But in terms of what I think regarding that, they say it's important, but I just think sex should be discussed and communicated amongst the partners, and the expectations of how sex should be and what it means to the relationship should be discussed between the partners. You know what I mean? Because for me, I can think sex is important, and my partner doesn't feel like sex is important. Doesn't mean he loves me less. But now, how do we then discuss to meet each other halfway so that we can, love each other the way we want to be loved? Going back to love languages. So it goes two ways. It's important as you and your partner agree that it is, and the importance and the role it plays in your relationship. So it's not a copy and paste, but I'm told that it has to exist.
I think that goes into my second question, basically, because would you say then sex, would you say, has got a more spiritual meaning? I don't know, because there are people who think that, like Sipo said, as soon as you take it to that level, that's like the most connected you can get to somebody. I mean, after that, it's like, I don't know.
Is it really?
No,
Not really.
No, I'm just saying that, like, it's like physically, that's like the limit. I mean, physically, what else can you do?
Yeah.
So, okay, can I just say something? Sorry, Angel. I hear what you're saying. I think for the one, it is the ultimate, right? But I mean, I know people, Angel, Lindy, y'all know that I'm not bashing anyone, but like most niggas can go on every day and having sex with different women. So for me, I don't take it as
a spiritual,
that's a level of intimacy or whatever. You know, it is an intimate step, but it's not a reflection of how I feel about you. And that's the biggest thing that men do now. My experience, men will come bring a relationship in your face so that they can get sex, because they know that every woman wants sex, and they know that for them it's the highest level of intimacy. But yeah, sorry, I just had to say that. Angel?
I definitely think that there's a difference between having sex with somebody and making love with somebody.
Okay.
I think the second part is where there isn't a lot of emotion needed. And I definitely know this for myself, because like I said, I've not been in a relationship for quite a long time, but I've had sex with quite a number of people, and I haven't had an emotional attachment to them, because I've learned through the years, I wasn't born like that, and I definitely was not like that in a relationship. Or something else scary. But I've learned that you can differentiate between having sex with somebody and making love with somebody. For me, it's usually the having sex with somebody is more of a physical thing. You don't really need to know the person. You don't need to you just bring what you want to the table and hope that they meet that. If they don't, you leave. But if you're making love to the person, you want to get to know them. You want to
that real
please them.
connection.
You want it's more about connecting with them more than obviously with yourself first, and then getting to know them. But in a sexual situation, I think it's basically more about fulfilling yourself, and finding the person who will meet those needs. Hopefully not just doing it with anybody, even if they don't want to. So am I making sense?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I believe it's a personal thing. You know what I mean? I think we could be together, we could be intimate together, and you could be in this whole world of your own, and where I'm just like, we fucking, bro. You know what I mean? And you could start perceiving in a different like way, And I think on every level that it is a spiritual thing, because for you guys to come together and exchange bodily fluids, and you're telling me you're not taking anything from me, and you're telling me you're not taking a piece from me away, or I'm not taking a piece from you with me, I don't really believe that. You know what I mean? Just because your intentions aren't as such, it doesn't mean that's not what it doesn't mean that's not what the reaction is, or what the action that's not what the action actually means.
I fully agree with you. I fully agree. I also think that's why I thought about it in that aspect, that in a way, as much as we don't want to admit it, there is a spiritual connection that you get with somebody when you have a sexual encounter with them. Because like he said, you are taking something from somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's somehow you guys are exchanging each other in a deeper way. Like it's as much as it's just, okay, cool, I'm just having sex with this person and I'm moving on. But there is those things that maybe if there's something about you that somebody else is not going to get to witness, that person is actually witnessing when they have sex with you. So it is actually some kind of a spiritual, I don't know, there's more to it than just we just having sex.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you, Lindsay and Sipo, because for me, it's that it's funny we're actually having this discussion, because I don't think we hear it here and there. You see the quotes on social media. You'll see our goggles, Togoza, they will be posting that also on social media, sharing it, and it's making the rounds that when you having sexual intercourse with somebody, you are actually exchanging, you know,
spirit almost.
You know, you are engaging with their spirits and their everything like China, because it's I can't really unpack it right now here without much fact. But pardon?
Take it for you. All right.
Oh, perfectly. Yes, perfect.
All right. So, from my point of view, is that, you know, you say that it's a spiritual connection. You're taking somebody, a piece of somebody, and you're leaving a piece of yourself. So, for me, when I'm having sex with people that I have no intentions of having relationships with, I literally, it becomes a selfish act in a way. Not a selfish act that it damages the other person. I hope it doesn't. But the rules are laid out to say this is about me, okay? It's about what I want. What you take, if you're gonna come to this after I've explained to you, you know, maybe Claire, there's not gonna be any relationship. Sometimes I don't even want to know your name, you know, because for me, you're just a glorified sex toy, basically. And I hope that you would see me the same way, because the whole situation for me is self-fulfilling. You can see me any way you want. I will take what I want from the experience. But if you come in and then you leave a part of you with me, I definitely won't take it, because it's just body. I will not connect with you in a more spiritual sense. Like for instance, one of my rules is that I won't kiss somebody who I have no intentions of taking it further with. You know, therefore I haven't kissed anybody during sex for a very, very, very long time. So
11 years to be exact.
Pardon?
11 years to be exact.
No, I stopped counting at 11. So
so he hasn't kissed in a while.
I don't know. And that's cool with me, but some people want to kiss, and I'm like, no, don't kiss me. And I don't know what it means for them, but I know for me, remember, this is having sex. It's about me, okay? And I've laid out what I want. How you see me as is your own thing. It doesn't make me what I am and what I want, what you think, okay? But when I'm making love to somebody and I have an intention of being in a relationship with them, it's a totally different ballgame, because my emotions get involved and my spirituality get involved more than my body gets involved, more than my mind and body gets involved. You can say my soul or whatever you want to call it. So then, you know, it would be a different part of myself. I would be more aware of what the person thinks about me, how I make them feel, and not just physically, but how I make them feel emotionally in their heart, or in
their soul.
Yeah, in their soul. How I make that do the interaction with their soul. So that's, I think most people that I've noticed, even with my friends, is that one comes with the looking for love, one comes looking for just a sexual encounter, but people don't tell each other the truth. People are not on each other. Like, they're scared that they might lose the possibility of love or the possibility of a sexual encounter, that they go in untruthfully into the whole thing, and it creates a confusion. You know, you went there looking for love, and then you were left feeling unwanted, used, la la la, and the other person went there looking for sex, and now they're left feeling like you're needy, like they did something wrong, or they, But I think it's be truthful with yourself, what you looking for, communicate that well.
And I told with the last statement, I'm like with you there. Like niggas, people should just stop coming up with excuses and reasons to want to have sex with you and be honest about it, just to manage expectations. But I think more of the spiritual thing. I think it's more of you're not willingly saying I take my spirit to already spiritually engage. It's things we can't physically touch and hear. It's in a different realm. The minute we start interacting, whether I want to have, whether it's the selfish act of I want to just have sex with you, or whether it's I want to make love with you. Over and above, there's a realm that is exchanging fluids over and above the physical and what I touch and feel and expect. But I mean, people should just be truthful. That is all. Yeah. I agree with you, Angel.
Yeah. Okay. Now here's another question that I've always been curious about. And Lingo, I think as females, we discuss this shit. Okay, so guys, as men, does size matter? Do you guys like, or maybe like, do you guys
size of what?
like
of
size of a penis? Okay, so let's say, do you guys like go to the gym, and like, would you be honest if a guy's got like a small dick? Would you tell your friend, maybe Sipo, that my man, you struggling down there? Like, would you have the guts?
I don't think I've really ever. Nah, probably not, because I think it's for me personally, it's a you thing, bro. You know what I mean? Whether so now, the only point where I can intervene is if that guy is bold enough to be like, yo, bro, actually, I have this I think I have this problem, you know what I mean? And I don't know for it. Then we can talk about it. But I don't think it's fair for me to just impose myself on your person.
But don't you guys don't you guys talk about it?
Mm-mm.
Is it?
No.
But Lindy, think about it. It's almost also it's hidden, but it's almost like we discuss and say, yo, and yo is wider.
Oh no, but friend, I feel like we
like that.
But you guys discuss that. We don't. Even mostly in most, not all, but in my gay friendships, we don't discuss each other's sizes. We'll discuss the other person's sizes.
Yeah.
This one that I found, this one was big, was small, but not each other's. Unless.
But I think also on interest, because I think straight men would rather focus more on the coochie and the big bum, whereas gay men will focus more on the big bum and the you know what. So
but
I think
on that note, Lingo, as well, I think like I'm from Cape Town, guys. It's a very small city, so it's like there won't be a couple of intersections here and there, and then I think the only way that come out in conversation is when maybe you're with a girl that's been with a close friend, a mutual friend, whatever, and then maybe the girl would bring that up in conversation, or like whatever, type of thing. But for a guy so there is those conversations are kind of there, but it's not really something we like focus on like that,
Friend, do you think size matters?
I think it does, because some people prefer big, so size matters and it's relative.
Lingo, what do you think from a female's perspective?
And why do you keep bringing it to me though?
This is a mutual conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it does. It's like you just gotta be able to work it. I mean, yeah, it does. I don't want to talk about this, guys. Don't cut the cameras.
Yeah.
But with the size, has it always been the deal breaker for you? Have you ever been surprised by something you
I
weren't
won't
really
lie.
expecting? You
I
know,
won't lie. I have been.
some of us.
I have been shocked.
Big or small?
Both. I've been shocked with big and I've been shocked with small. It's been a bit of both. Where I've seen small, where I'm like, ooh, I didn't know you can get it that size. That's the size of a jelly bean.
So cute.
That's the size of a jelly bean.
And to add on what Malindi's saying is that sometimes you get girls who are well endowed, but all they are, and because it's a male ego thing, it's attached to the male ego, it's the size of their penis, and they don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
And you end up thinking, yeah, this is nonsense. It's a waste. I'd rather go and play with myself than be with you.
Yeah, because I think the size thing comes like that because you find the jelly bean jumps around a lot.
Yes.
But then
effort.
the truck.
Jelly bean. I refuse. I miss my cow. I'm over too.
Okay, the cheese curl. But like, okay, I can't think of like something to like say the size.
Cheese curl.
Not a cheese curl. Okay,
Like,
but anyway,
that's
guys,
small.
I can't even say like this or like this, or I'm just saying. But all I'm saying is sometimes you find that the smaller one could have a like an age, yeah, and then the truck can't move. You know?
Give me the truck. We'll work it out.
You want the truck?
We'll work it out.
You want a truck, friend, man.
Hey, Tima. Can I please say something, guys? As we are busy talking about that, does booty also matter? The size of the booty? Like, that's a size too, and it works in sex, you know?
Does it?
I think so. Does it matter? I don't know. But I don't know. I'm an ass guy. I just like ass, you know. So for me, that's like the first point of attraction with someone is their physical appearance, obviously, you know.
Okay.
But does it really do much in a sexual encounter? Does it really matter? I don't really think so. Like that. Personally, for me, it's never been a thing where I'm like, damn, okay, I can't work around this, you know. But you also need to know your limits as a man, you know. Don't be reaching, bro. You know.
Yeah. That doesn't matter. When it comes to size, I think it matters in terms of can you use what you have. Hence, I'm saying if the cheese curl can make fireworks, then it doesn't matter because you won't really realize that it's a cheese curl. But then if the truck can't do the fireworks, then it's like, what's the point of having the truck? You know what I'm saying? Unlike if it's a truck that sends all the way to Timbuktu, then that's now a different story.
I'm going to interject.
I think you can make... Okay, sorry, Angel, can I just add on and then you can speak? I think you can I would rather work on, like I said, the truck will create our magic there because it's easy. I think you can try get the truck to make magic because you can work around it. There's a lot of room. And then the cheese curl because yeah, the cheese curl. You're gonna snack. It's gonna be a snack attack only, and that ended in wild room. So no, thank you, Angel.
It doesn't really matter if you really look at it, what size it is. It's more about from the male's point of view. I don't know about the female's point of view. It's about the guy's confidence. You know, the guy's self-esteem. You know, they might have a jelly bean or they might have a truck, but if they don't have sexual confidence and sexual self-esteem, if I can put it like that, then you know it's definitely gonna be because it's extremely important. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, value confidence plays a huge role. I think for
it
both
plays
sides.
the ultimate role.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think it plays. Yeah, definitely in everything in life. That confidence can make you win more than what you like.
Yeah, because I think confidence plays a role in saying, is there something like bad sex and is there something like good sex? I think that plays both parts. Like, what role did you play when the sex was bad? Were you just lying there like an Nando's chicken? Like you were just Nando's chicken on a baste. You know what I'm saying? So
But what if the guy likes? Some men like being dominant. Some guys like taking control. So I hear.
Taking control
So
doesn't mean that the female has to lie there and
be
nothing.
just nothing, like just
I don't know, but really, then where's your sexual experience as the female lying there and just being nothing? Like, wow, oh my god. Some guys like that. Maybe they just think, okay, I'm here and this thing is dead. I'm just gonna satisfy myself and leave. I don't know, maybe.
sure.
Sipa, what do you think?
And are these conversations that we're actively having though? You know, are we trying to, a question to more of the ladies now, you know, since y'all phrased the question in the beginning, are you guys actually having these conversations to say, listen, brother, actually, if we could try it out this way, maybe, you know, if maybe we could work on this as well, we could get to a better point? Or is it something that you guys discuss with your friends?
I mean, that's a valid question because I think, like, that's why I say with the truck. The truck, you can get to the truck and let's work it out. They say maybe change your gears to this way, blah blah blah. But with the nuggets, the
cheese
curl, even if you have had to have that conversation, it's also very painful because, like Angel said, it's attached to the ego, you know. And first things first, how do they go and talk to cheese curl and say, "Yo, cheese curl"?
Yeah, there's spots where the cheese curl just won't touch. Fact.
Yeah. But like, Sipo's got a valid question. Do we talk to the guys and say, maybe let's try this? Or do we go on and say, yo, show me? Did I tell you?
Okay, let me say something. You know, for myself, you know how it is.
Let's tell the truth now.
Let me tell the truth.
I know you will.
Okay, look, to be honest, it depends on how much, I don't want to use like respect as the word, but like if I really care about your feelings, I will be like, okay, you know what, maybe let's
Isn't that when you're trying to build a relationship, then you care about their feelings?
No, not necessarily if I'm building a relationship. Just like if I care about your feelings, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'll say that let's switch it up. Let's try add boma cheese or let's add boma cream.
Let's call Angel.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm joking. Never do that.
No, never.
The moment I come in, you're out, honey.
Look. Like, seriously? But like, for real, I just think like, if I care about your feelings, I'm gonna say, let's try. I'll even try find out, what do you like? Like, what tickles your fantasy? Like, what touches your spirit? What touches that thing that if I do this, what will make you happy? But if I really don't care, to be honest, I'll just
gonna
be
lie
like,
there and fake an orgasm, which is what generally you guys do, which I think is evil to yourselves. How could you? Like most female friends I have, orgasms.
It's as evil as men, angels, as evil as people coming to us and saying they want to be in a relationship only because they want to bang us.
You know what I'm saying?
Same.
So that's what you get. Like, yes, that's what you get. You lie to me and you say that you like me. Meanwhile, you just want to get laid. I will pretend like you
guys. Let's tell you a story relating to that.
Straight relationship.
We're at group. Me and a friend of mine meet this guy. Oh, amazing. Well, I know him. I've known him. Meet this guy. So we decided we're gonna just hang longer in the night, right? And then that night, obviously, he said, "Oh, shame, guys! That guy said the sweetest things to me that night. Yes, I've never felt like a princess like that. That night, Nami put. I was, if I could, I was gonna give it in.
Yeah.
Now, in the morning, because obviously nothing happened. In the morning, I get a text. Hey, by the way, everything I said yesterday was not true. I was just legit, nigga said it like that. I legit just said what I wanted to say so that I can get, some. And you're not my type, all that thing. And I was just like, okay, now I know the rules of engagement. So they will tell you they want you, but they don't. They just want to smash. And if you don't smash, you are the most horrible, undesirable, unloved woman to them. I'm telling you this first-hand experience.
Isn't there a difference between what they tell you and what you hear? I mean, we always listen to what they say and we take what we want to hear instead of really looking beyond what they're saying. Like you can always tell, well, I think I can tell somebody's intentions. I mean, you meet a guy in a pub and you go home with them and they tell you they want you. And so, of course, they want you for that evening. How can they want you? They don't know you, honey. Like, come on, let's be real.
Angel, I didn't go with it. I didn't go through with it. Don't.
Like you go through, yes, you want me for tonight, love. And maybe later, maybe not, but for tonight, we want each other and that's it, okay? You're going to have me, the one night part of me, not the other stuff that takes time to show and develop. Don't you think?
Which is why I'm only responsible for what you say and not what you hear.
Yes.
No,
it's the truth. It's the truth. No, you
guys.
Oh, Jesus.
But you know what it is, and what I'm grateful for these chats. I mean, we do talk of this offline, Lindy and I. What I'm grateful about these chats from the beginning of the relationship series is that there's certain things we also learn that as women we need to also be more stern and strong about, right? Be more aware. Like guys, Sibadala. They like the excuses come in different shapes and forms, but we know when we know, and let's not even red flag.
Yeah.
That little voice is gonna say, shut up, little voice, when I'm gonna marry this man.
Exactly. Anyway, guys.
Yeah. So then the next one is, how important is it for both of, like, how important is it for you how am I gonna put this? How important is it for you to make sure that your partner is satisfied? Like, is it important to you that Lingo is satisfied? Like, do you feel power afterwards, or do you feel like, shit, as long as I'm sorted, then I'm good?
I think it also comes to where we are with our relationship. Do you know what I mean? Some guys might just think like Angel made a scenario. Lingo, you met this guy in a pub the one night, and he was just like, bro, I'm looking for smash. You know what I mean? And in those instances, most guys are just like, yo, bro, as long as I bust a night, it's okay. I'm done. My job here is. But once your relationship gets a bit, and other guys naturally just have that urge to perform and to satisfy the woman, regardless of what their intentions are, with the female, right? Then you get the in between, and this is where the conversation comes in. Bringing back your fire track and your cheese curl situation, where I might think I'm doing the things, you know what I mean, at the end of it all, and you just not there. You're just not feeling the boy like that.
But then you're faking the orgasm and the sounds.
Yeah, by you saying to me, Lindy, that no, I'm gonna tell him it was good just to spare his feelings. Girl, the only person you're hurting is yourself. Because at the end of the day, I'm blood. You know what I mean?
No, let me correct that. No, I ain't hurting myself, because next time you call me, I ain't gonna answer.
And I think you are sparing their feelings, because if you were told the truth as a typical guy that actually you're not that great, you have a cheese curl, you don't have the ego, you don't have the self-confidence, and you don't even touch sides and so on, how would you feel? You won't leave saying, hey, you're hurting yourself, hey. You'll be smashed. Generally, most guys would be.
I'd rather smash the guy's feelings than my feelings being smashed, by the way. Just by the by. If any opportunity I have, I would smash.
But like, friend, let's be honest. How many guys have you told that, my man, you suck in bed?
That's a fucking problem.
That's the thing. Is that like most of the time, it's not going to end well. So like, my thing is that I'd rather just be like, thanks.
Okay, one experience with a cheese curler. I kind of did tell the cheese curl that he has cheese curls, and but it came out in an angry place, from an angry place. But I did tell the cheese curl, but he didn't care because obviously he didn't care about me, so he didn't care.
Yeah.
But I also kind of did spread it around the streets. Yeah.
You told
I've got pictures to show, but I'm not going to talk about it because he might be watching this, and we got over it, got past it.
Do you think he'll know?
You know your name, nigga?
So did he admit that he's a cheese girl?
Oh, do they?
No, he did. I just told him there's a reason why you are a dick, because you don't have a dick. So you are the dick. Anyway, sorry. That was...
That's awkward.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, but
awkward, yeah?
That's awkward.
Pardon?
It's awkward. Like, that's awkward. I don't know.
I know, guys.
The gay community.
It came from an angry place. It came from an angry place.
As the gay community, we've got things in place that help us with that awkwardness. They're called sex sites. They're called the internet. You ask for a picture. You ask them all the questions you want online, and hopefully they will meet them properly. And by the time you have a sexual encounter with them, you know more or less what they like, what they look like. And if it's a lie, you're like, okay, bye. Okay, before the night is over, I need to go online and find another one, because when you are just
fast again.
It's like Grindr. It's like called Grindr.
Generally, that's how the gay community works, because you have churches and schools and mother-in-laws and all those people to make you meet each other. We are very happy with the internet, and most of us really use the internet to have our sexual encounters and hopefully to find love, which hardly ever happens. But anyway, yeah. It's horrible in the other side.
It's very interesting, Angel, what you just said now, that we actually, like the straight community has like churches, libraries, clubs, pubs, very public spaces to meet, our people. And where you guys
but now you're going to find it in church or in a pub when your friends are looking, and then you're going to say, how told me? So it's a mess. Like
it's a mess. I mean, I would rather go for the online thing as well, because you are vetting. You get to understand. We touched on online dating the previous episode. You vet and you get to know what you're dealing with, but obviously not the full personality comes out online. Sometimes people are psycho.
Takes time.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I was really worried about talking about sex, and I love this chat. I love the conversation.
Wait, do you want to hear about what?
Pardon?
The straight guy. What do you think about online meeting a girl online? If you could go online and the women responded like with their sexual energies, not marriage and looking for love, maybe behind at the back of their heads, and they say, "This is what I want," blah blah blah. I'm like this, send you news and so on. Would you guys be much happier, and would it be easier for you guys?
Easier in what sense, though?
In the sense that instead of going to a pub, buying them a drink, having
basically, if we just say
meet somebody online for sex, and that's it.
Like if as girls, we just straight up that, okay, cool, I want to get laid. Like on Tinder, if I'm written, I want to get laid. Would that be easier than having to pretend?
To woo.
Yeah, ultimately. But I always try and put my intentions out there from the very beginning. If I don't want anything serious, whether we meet in person, whether we meet on Tinder, it is what it is. So we don't waste each other's time as well. And I don't also have to play the long game, because you'll find with most girls, they'll be straightforward. Girls are more straightforward about this thing than guys. If you meet a girl at a club, maybe she's just there with her homegirls and she was just trying to have an easy night. Or maybe she's just not into you, She'll tell you off the bat that, nah, I'm not feeling this. It's not working out, And as guys, we know, like, okay, women are vulnerable in this sense. So I'll play to that to get what I want in the long run, which is always, sometimes it's gotten me, like, the amount of times where the lines were kind of blurred, it got me into like super tricky situations. So I think it's vital to save each other's time, and rather be upfront with your intentions and then take it or leave it type of thing. But on like I haven't really met anyone on the internet in a long ass time. You know, I prefer meeting you face to face, getting your how is your actual energy, you know? Because if I'm gonna be with this person, I just think it's way more than sex. It's way more than sex because
But
I'm gonna
tell
be
me
chilling
something.
with that.
How do you guys feel about a woman who's very like straightforward about what she wants? Because sometimes I think society makes you seem like a whore if you're just going to be like, I just want to have sex, like I just want to get laid, and then it just seems like, ooh, nah. You know what I mean?
Totally.
When technically maybe that's all you want. I don't want a relationship. Obviously, I'm human. Unfortunately, I need to get laid. And that's what I want. And it becomes harder for females to be honest about it, that all I need, I've got work, I've got everything else going on. All I need is a smash and then I move on. Then it just seems like I'm a whore.
Yeah, I think in the beginning it was very like strange for women to come up to you like that, but women are more liberated, and I think the more we see women open about their sexuality, it's become more of a, like a normal thing and an acceptable sort of thing in society. So now you don't almost cringe when you hear that, you know, because it's life. It is what it is. And as a guy, who am I to shun you for feeling that way when I can say it whenever I want and I'm a player or whatever. So I think the world is opening up to that like a lot more. And I really think what really messes us up, like even if you look at relationships nowadays, you know, people are very afraid of that thing. People don't want to get into relationships because it's all about guarding yourself. Nobody wants to go isha or I don't know what they call it these days. You know what I mean? No,
I don't want it
nobody
to
wants
end
to
in
be in the,
tears.
yeah, they don't want it to end in tears. So I'd rather half-ass the shit and try and play it cool than really commit and be honest about how I feel and where I'm trying to go. And then that's when that's when everything really gets messed up and the lines get super blurred and things end ugly. Where we could have met up, strictly said, "Yo, I'd like to smash. I'd like to go home with you tonight." And if we see where it goes, we'll see where it goes. Or maybe we don't even exchange numbers, we don't even exchange names, and I never ever see you again. Or maybe like I've had encounters with girls at parties. I never took their number. I didn't know their names or anything. And maybe we'd meet again a month later at a different event and we'd be cool. Do you know what I mean? We'd talk, there'd be no awkward vibes. So I think everything starts with communication. You know what I mean? And Lingo posted something during the week, which I found to be like super profound. Communication, it went something along the lines of communication is not key, comprehension is key. And I think it's something that we also touched on earlier, where Lingo painted the scenario of meeting this guy at this pub or whatever, and she understood things a different way, and maybe the guy was trying to communicate something different. We need to work to get to a point where we understand each other's intentions clearly, and I'm not leaving any sort of blind spots for you, and for you to try and figure that out.
Can I please add something to what Sipo was saying? You know, I mean, ever since, like, I keep referencing the part, because for me it has meant besides changing other people's ways of thinking and doing things, it also changed my way of thinking. And intention, communication has always been one of the key things that I feel like in my previous relationships I've been lacking, I've been ignoring, and especially from red flags to all of those things. And that way I got hurt. And I now had to realize which role did I play in me getting hurt. Yes, the guy's maybe a dick and an asshole, but what did I do? What did I do to guard myself over and above what was happening? And I think it's really important that we take our lessons, our experiences, all the things we always keep crying about and complaining about, and do better. Like with what Sipo was talking about and Angel about, like sometimes we listen, but we take what we want to hear, and that's where everything gets confusing. That's where you think you're used. That's where you think How would you think you would get a real nigga to want to be with you forever? After meeting him drunk at a place, go home, smash. The next day, you think there's love there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We also need to also do better. And one thing as well is that men should stop thinking, yes, we've been hurt. Yes, we went through a lot, but we're allowed to make our own choices. I'm allowed to say, like, actually, well, I want to smash that dude.
Mm.
It shouldn't be you.
Mm.
Why should you be the only one who's
Which
supposed to
says
tell
you wanna
me
get
when you want to
laid.
smash?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean I want a relationship. Doesn't mean I'm gonna get hurt. I'm gonna be vulnerable, whatnot. We're just gonna smash. We're not gonna exchange numbers. We're not gonna talk, and don't talk to me every day also, because now you confusing yourself. Don't talk to me every day. Don't say, hey, how you doing? How's your day? How's everyone? No. You know, that's where you guys confuse things, and then you make it sound like we women don't know how to handle one night stands or
Exactly.
friends
And
with
we
benefits.
know how to handle one night
Oh,
stands.
no,
Trust.
no, no. Hold on, darlings. Hold on. You just said men should stop thinking men should do that, men should do that. You cannot change anybody else or make anybody else do anything except for yourself. So if you want to be that girl who goes out and as awkward and as unpopular as it is, you need to do it. Women need to stop waiting for men to act a certain way for life to be better for them or for them to show their power. You need to show your power. Be the change that you want to see in the universe. I know it's a cliche, but
Yes, Tata.
in my 12 years of being by myself, I have learned that the communication starts here. I had to build a relationship with myself. That was not my intention, but I was first heartbroken. Oh, he broke my heart. Yeah, it was useless. La, 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 la. And then I was scared to go into a relationship because I thought I was going to be hurt. So I spent time by myself having these sexual encounters and not really building relationships. And that somehow led to me finding out who I really am. First, I was not aware of that it was happening. Now I am. That, wow, look at what's happened. I know who I am, not completely, but I'm getting there more than I did and more than most people. I know what I want and I'm confident enough to say it. And I'm also aware that other people, are sensitive and so on. I'd rather move away, not say who I am, than hurt you because I know who I am. Whether you know it or not, that doesn't change anything. So we have to start here. We really have to. People don't really understand it when we say love begins with yourself. Sex begins with yourself. And acceptance begins with yourself. I mean, if you cannot accept yourself as being a
Why would
one
someone
night
else
stand
accept
girl,
you?
how do you expect other people to accept it? When you do
Woo!
it with confidence. Say,
Boss.
I just want to have sex with
Yeah.
you, and that's it. And I'm cool with it. If you say no, bye. I'll find the next one. Just own it, and then it will work.
Okay, I thought church was tomorrow, y'all. We
Yes,
just went
today is
straight
Sunday,
to church.
baby.
Anyway.
Okay, but you know
Guys,
what?
I think
I
yeah.
think what he's saying flows into our next part of our conversation, starting afresh.
Starting afresh.
Yes.
It's a new year. It's I know it's not that whole thing already. Just because the calendar changed, like it's a new year, that means the problems change. It's just a change of calendar and times and so forth. We touched on it a lot, and for me, it's like what Angel is saying. Everything that you want and needs to happen and change needs to start from within yourself. And I recently learned this. I mean, I did mention about a recent breakup that I went through, which I'm still dealing with, and a lot of things that recently happened in my life, a lot of interactions and engagements I've had with other people, has made me believe and still think that actually I'm not healed yet. I'm engaging and doing things that I'm not ready for. I feel it in my bones, but because I'm used to company, I'm used to having somebody to talk to every day and say good night and share some things with. Sometimes that person is myself. Sometimes a journal. Sometimes, which I don't know, maybe I should voice record. I love recording, hearing my voice. So maybe I should record. But I need to find a way to all those communications and all those things that I'm seeking and missing that I think I'm ready for, which always feels like it's heavy on me. I need to then start doing that for myself. And it's a love language conversation too, Lindy. where the love that I'm expecting and needing and seeking from outside there,
You need to be able to
let me give me. Not the easiest thing to do. We're never taught to love ourselves. We're taught to love the next person. We're never taught to look into ourselves. Exactly. We thought love is with another person, never with yourself. So when you are alone, you to the people that are in relationships, you look lonely. And not because you're worried about what people think, but like it's seen as a yo. I was told recently in the village when I went home that yo olefetwa awuna ngwana. Yeah. And I told him that I'm like, sorry, Sipa translation. It means like, I don't know Lefito, what Lefito means. That means someone who will never get married. Like you're a loner.
Yeah.
And you don't have a child. And he compared me to some other man in the village. And I legit said, that's not nice. Usually I'll snap back and like, hey, when I said, that's not nice. He's like, oh, but it's true. And I just walked away. So you need to be prepared to hear those things. But if you love yourselves and you be strong, you'll be able to protect yourself from everything. You'll be able to start afresh. And I mean, Angel says that he stopped counting how long he's been single for. I know Sipo has been single for a while, and he's not even like every time I talk about relationships and like start that conversation, his focus is not even about that. Do you know what I mean? And here we are, every nigga we meet. Never mind. I'm done. Start afresh, y'all. Take care of yourself to start afresh.
And I love how people say, I'm starting afresh. 2 months later, show me, I've met a new one. I'm starting fresh. You're starting afresh. You were in a relationship for 2 years. You hurt so much. Now you're starting afresh. Oh, serious, show me. Like you haven't gone through the pain. You haven't mourned. So and then it's another mess over another mess. And then, and then they marry you, but they cheat on you. And then fresh but around. I don't. Generally it's a mess, not every time, I think.
And in every relationship, what do? You're carrying over all of that baggage. You're carrying over baggage, and you're bringing it into that. You come to me just off the bat of the old relationship, and maybe your ex-partner had certain habits or things that they did, like not answering their phone or whatever. And maybe my work environment doesn't permit for me to answer my phone all the time. You know what I mean? And it's totally innocent. And maybe I communicate that with you. But through that, he ended up cheating on you. He was cheating. You found out he was cheating on you. So now you're taking all of those emotions and it's triggering you into everything that I do. And automatically, I don't understand where all of this is coming from, you know? So I think it's really important to heal. And when you're coming from a relationship, to just take the time to find out who are you after that relationship. Do you know what I mean? What are the things that you've learned that you maybe still do want to take with you? Because ultimately, I think with every encounter, whether it's a bad or good encounter, whether you guys are on good or bad terms, you must have learned something from that person, you know? And taking those things and saying, listen, this is what I want to focus on more. This is also who I want to build and who I want to take with me. And maybe these are the things that I can do without. How do I unlearn all of those behaviors? You know, how do I get to a place where not to say you must starting afresh means now you're blank canvas. It's just about understanding who are you at this present moment and what do you want? Where are you trying to go with your life, and so forth, you know? And like this whole like self-love thing, you know, self-love is not always like a holiday to Bali or Dubai.
It's a different journey.
Self-love is the hard shit, you know what I mean? It's when you're honest with yourself, you know, about your own shit, you know? Because ultimately, I think we all have our toxic traits, you know. But what I try and move with is like the key is to stay away from people that bring them out and people that make you feel like you just a toxic person. And which is why sometimes you have to go through your shit alone, you know. Sometimes you really have to figure it out alone, because a lot of people come up to you as well and they'll give you a version of yourself that they've accepted or they would like to see, but it's not really who you are, and you end up believing that hype. I think Lingo calls it gaslighting. Is it gaslighting? And you'll end up believing all of that hype, and now you're never really content with where you're going with your story and who you are, because there's so much outside noise and interference, you know. So I think it's really crucial and important to take the time to just be by yourself and figure out who you are and experiment. That doesn't mean you can't see other people or whatever, but you have to know your boundaries and so forth, you know. How far do you extend?
Basically just taking every situation as a learning situation. You know, I don't think you should regret the bad relationships. Don't take them as, oh my God, that was so sour. Instead, look at the role that you played in it that could have maybe actually affected that as well. And you learn from that. And when you start afresh, you'll know that to avoid 1, 2, 3 from happening, I personally need to change that so that that doesn't happen again. And that's about fixing yourself. And that's the whole self-love thing.
Definitely. And for me, I also like to add that, like, why, you know, I love what you said, Lindy, that don't regret, you know, the horrible relationships, the painful ones. Try get the learnings and how you can be a better person and how you can do better also. Because like Angel said, that the only person you can change is yourself. You can't change the next party, unfortunately. So now you learn and you take those things and start putting boundaries, and now you need to learn to love you, to respect your boundaries. And that's the painful part, where it's easier to do what you used to do because you know it, it's easy.
So true.
But it's harder to choose
Call
the
yourself
new
out.
boundaries.
You
The
need
new
to call yourself
boundaries.
out.
Yeah, it's harder for you to set up your new to follow up on your new boundaries, as you set yourself, to protect yourself and heal yourself from all that healing that you've done. One thing I know about myself right now is that I am tired of introducing my soul to other people. I'm tired of explaining and teaching people who I am and what I'm about. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted of people seeing me dooming, like they want to know, why is this girl like this? Who's this girl? The minute they enter, it's not, maybe they thought something else. And I'm tired of telling myself, and I'm tired of showing myself to people. I'm opening up. I'm tired of meeting new souls and introducing those souls to my souls and explaining. I am tired.
So you know what you need to
It's time for me. And I think,
do? Stop telling
yeah.
people who you are. Just be who you are. Just be who you are. Just don't explain, don't complain, just act. Act. If you make a mistake, you will learn a lesson and you'll grow. Just carry on. We're here to be. Life is lived. It's not talked. It's not thought. It's not explained. It is an action. So even saying love yourself, we read the books. We've seen the shows. We've gone to the team building, love yourself, We all say it, but the magic is in doing it.
Implementation.
You need to do it. That,
Okay,
Thank
guys.
you.
I think we're running out of time yet again.
So it's not like a therapy session now, more than sorry. But guys, it was beautiful. Thank you so much for wrapping up this relationship series. Sex had to come in. Lily was going to kill me if it didn't, because sex sells, they say. Thank you to our lovely guests, and also our listeners and viewers that have been watching the whole series. It is the last episode of the relationship series. It's been amazing. I learned, I cried, I am healing rather, and I'm living.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for all the listening. We've appreciated all of you guys giving us advice and giving us comments and giving us your opinions on the topics the subjects that we've been talking about in our relationship series. I don't know, as Lingo said in the beginning, that we're going to tell you what our next series is, which is, of course, the career series. So I think that speaks for itself. Or Lingo, do you want to explain what the career series is, or should we let them
The career
find
series
out?
is just going to be I think let's let them find out. But like
Yeah.
you don't want to miss this. If you enjoyed the relationship series, you'll know that the career series is more of just uplifting, guiding, and finding your true purpose. But anyway, and we're gonna have some amazing, inspiring guests, and maybe that will make an impact and a difference in your life. But for now, from me, my side, it's been love. Thank you to all our guests, our previous guests too. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for coming and joining us today.
Thank you guys. Thank you for creating the platform.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.